Episode 62 or
season 2, episode 10.
Woo! Yeah, let's do it.
Today we talked about all things DIY.
Well,
yes.
we got
not only that actually.
Well, we got a third person on, a fourth person in to
vu.
talk about DIY.
Yeah, we had a guest.
Got an actual DIYer in. That's the difference this time.
So you can do it yourself. It is possible.
I
have evidence.
I did.
He did. There he is.
We did it.
We talked a lot about Monster energy drink for some reason. We spent a good 40 minutes on Monster energy drink.
Yeah, which wasn't the topic.
No.
But it's in there. It's good information.
And yeah, advice on if you're planning on adding to your house.
Yes.
What to do, what not to do.
Yeah.
All that sort of jazz.
And it was Owen versus Owen in
an Owen
the
off.
waffle game.
And Owen won.
Owen off. Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which one?
So I'm going to name the I'm going to try and suggest a name.
I think
for the
I already
podcast.
like your name. I like your name already.
My name suggestion is Owen off. I like that
Owen
one.
off.
I'm going to go vote for Owen off.
You like that? Would Bertie go on?
Owen to improve.
Owen
To improve.
Owen to improve.
Like room to improve, but with Owen.
I like it. I like it.
What about Eoin Improvements?
Oh my goodness! Shell bomb.
Owen Improvements.
Oh my god.
That's damn good. Wow.
You're going to pick all our names.
I kind of piggybacked off of yours. I'm sorry.
You're so good. You did that
What?
last week for his one, remember?
That was awesome.
Stole it
Job
completely.
done.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that was very good.
That was
Episode
epic.
62.
Episode 62 or season 2, episode 10.
Eoin Improvements.
Yay!
Yeah, waffle me this, waffle me that. Thinking all the topics that you all could have had. The only game that makes me feel so alive. I'm guessing for 30, it could be only 5. Getting them all would be a superpower. You can get it every week on the JB Waffle Hour. 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 JB Waffle Hour. JB Waffle Hour. JB Waffle Hour.
Say something
Love that
to-
song.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Love that song.
Love it. Hi, guys.
How you doing?
Hello.
Hi.
Hello, everybody.
There's a voice.
That was a fourth voice.
Do your intro. Go on. Bertie will get mad if he doesn't get to do his intro first. No, do it. I'm sorry. Go on.
Okay, so this is episode number 62. I hope everybody enjoyed episode 61, New Year Podulations, which I find really hard to say, where we talked about New Year's resolutions and classic football shirts. Scotty got to do a new little segment. I
Yay.
think maybe we should do the GA ones next. Some good
Vintage GA.
I'd be up for that, yeah.
Now, make sure to rate, like, share, follow, and subscribe to the podcast wherever you see it. Drop us an email at thejbwafflehour@gmail.com or check out all the cool stuff on the Instagrams and the TikToks.
Oh, it's awesome.
It's all there.
Well done, Bert.
And go back and listen to all our other episodes.
I love your intros, Bertie.
Thanks.
It's absolutely brilliant.
I practice them in the mirror every week.
I know you do. You send us WhatsApp videos of you doing it.
Will we get into straight away? We'll just introduce our guest.
Yes.
Because we did that. Remember we did that before, and
We're really bad at doing
we're
it.
sitting. Was it Paul Caldwell was sitting there for ages.
And then ask, could he say something?
It's like, I'm here.
So we have a DIY expert in with us this week.
Well, that's a bit of a stretch, but yeah, I can do some stuff.
A self-made DIY expert.
Yeah, that's fair, I suppose.
Yeah.
Not qualified, so
Well, I mean,
any advice given is.
But that's
We're
why
not liable
it's
for-
good advice for DIY people, because DIY
Yeah.
people aren't called.
who was the first to do DIY, or building for that matter?
I don't know.
I wouldn't say there
Your
was
man that
many.
moved the rock from there to there, and then he was like, "Oh, DIY."
Yeah.
Did we we discussed this in our DIY episode, did we? Who was the first to do DIY?
No, we talked about like when DIY became popular, like
that was
after
probably
like,
it,
the
yeah.
Industrial Revolution. and
Yes, that was it.
Oh,
Yeah,
save
yeah.
money.
stuff. Yeah. And what was it to do with men being out in the factories and stuff, and
Yeah.
doing stuff at home, blah 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 blah. I can't remember any of our old.
What was
episodes.
your definition of DIY? Did you come to?
Oh yeah, so there was we were stuck actually between what was DIY and what was
General maintenance that you should
Yeah.
be doing anyway.
general maintenance. But I was thinking about that afterwards. Is DIY not just general maintenance as well? No, is that the same thing?
DIY, I think, is the extra things.
Right.
As you said, like mowing the lawn. That's not DIY. That's just mowing the lawn.
Which doing it yourself, but I think we decided it was whatever you wouldn't hire someone to do.
This was the entirety of that podcast. It was just us going, I think it's this. Yeah, no, it's not
Yeah.
that.
If you'd hire someone to do something easily, but then decided to do it yourself, I think that's basically.
But some people are useless. They can't even cut the grass.
Yeah, and some people are really rich, so they hired people to do everything.
That
Yeah.
too, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
they,
like
they
John's
did that themselves.
ancestors.
That would be their
Yeah,
their
John's
type of DIY, wouldn't
But
it?
like, if you're really rich, is DIY tying your shoes
Well, if you could get someone else to do it for you.
or wiping your arse? Or
Look, there's rich people. If I was rich, I'd probably get someone to do it. So.
yeah, that's fair.
Didn't we have something to do with a king or a queen that had someone that came up and like checked their poo and stuff?
Yeah, with the poop stick, with the poop knife.
Poop knife, yeah, that's
yeah,
right.
they used to cut through it.
So that's, technically if we're pooing and checking our own poo, it's
I think you should bring
DIY.
that back. Why did it just do it back then? Because it makes
It's
sense
not
to do
true.
it now.
Remember I told you in Germany that they have the shelf.
Yeah.
the poo shelf.
Das poop shelf.
Just liquidize it and analyze it.
Gross. Why would you have to liquidize it?
So you can drink it, obviously.
Oh my god. So Owen Fitzpatrick is with us this week. Hi Owen.
Hi, Owen.
Hello.
Are we not doing the weekend?
Yeah,
No.
I was
Okay,
just about to
sorry.
do that there. How
Sorry,
was your
Bertie.
weekend, lads? Owen, we'll start with you because you're the guest,
You.
I guess. What did you get up to at the
Oh,
weekend?
thanks very much.
Guest of honour.
Just kind of hung out around the place. I helped my neighbour on Saturday. He's building a really cool greenhouse.
Hmm.
So I helped him do that. It's like a geodesic dome.
Oh, cool.
Did you ever see those?
No.
I've got some pictures. I'll show you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do.
Helped him make that on Saturday.
And is it like handmade, or he bought it online, or
Yeah,
he's
I'll
making it
show
from
you pictures,
total
actually.
scratch?
No, he made it from scratch. This dude's he's a structural engineer,
Right.
so it's all made out of timber.
And glass.
Not
what?
yet. He's just doing a timber frame now, and then it'll be covered with like a plastic polythene kind of sheet.
That's incredible.
That's the frame.
That
of
is
it.
so cool.
deadly.
Sorry, I'll show you first. 'Cause
We'll
That's-
stick.
that
We'll
is
start-
awesome.
Your own,
it's,
John.
it's really cool. Yeah.
It is better than my one.
If
I
you
do-
listen to the podcast, it'll be on the stories. We'll stick it on the stories this morning.
I was very impressed with you because you actually said you were going to put something up in the story, and they actually went up in the
Oh,
story.
I followed
Yeah.
through last
Yeah,
week. Yeah.
because loads of times we say, "Oh, we'll throw that up," and then we never do.
Yeah, probably
Yeah.
because it was my job.
Yeah. no, I do that too. I followed through last week.
Good.
So yeah, we'll stick that picture up on. And so what's it called again?
A geodesic dome.
Geodesic. Wow, that's a nice
And
word.
did he get inspiration from something like is it popular in America or Sweden or something?
Well, like I said, he's an engineer. I think he just wanted to build something that was challenging because he's an engineer. So
Yeah.
he's maybe showing off a little bit.
Nice.
And now he has to grow things in it, or he's probably just not going to
No,
bother.
his wife is going to do all that stuff.
Right, very
She's
good.
into gardening. He's not into gardening. He's into
Yeah.
building stuff.
Right.
It's kind of like me and my wife.
Yeah.
Similar kind of arrangement.
Yeah.
So yeah, she'll plant stuff in it coming
Yeah,
in
yeah.
the spring, I guess,
Brilliant.
when it's finished. But yeah, it's really cool.
That is really cool. Greenhousing is awesome. Yeah, my wife. It'd be the same scenario. We built. Me and Bertie actually helped me. Well, I built a greenhouse, DIY it, and
Yeah.
the wife now is planting a load of stuff in it.
Yeah, nice one. Yeah, I built one too last year.
Scotty, did you build a greenhouse?
No, I've never
No.
built a greenhouse.
What?
I'm shit at building stuff.
Big greenhouses.
I
are
was just about to ask you about your greenhouse, but then we're going to skip by the whole weekend thing,
Oh, okay.
and we won't do any news. We'll just get straight into the topic. So I'll ask you about that in a second.
So we're not doing news.
We are doing the news.
Oh,
yeah.
sorry, I thought you said we were going to skip it.
No. I'd say if we started talking about his greenhouse,
Here,
we'll get
Bertie.
into
Here's
the-
the
Ah,
here's the
okay,
we can get
timetable.
into the
Here,
topic.
Bert. Here's. Did you get the? Did I email you the timetable? Here you go.
So
It's on the Google Drive, is it?
Yeah, it's on.
how was your weekend,
These are hanging out again without me.
Bertie? I
No,
didn't
we
see you at
didn't.
the weekend.
No.
I didn't know.
I was down at Loan on Sunday
Oh,
for the retest, and then Offaly played Roscommon in a challenge then afterwards.
sorry, the retest.
The retest, yeah, sprint test.
Oh, right.
Retest.
Yeah, so 6 weeks ago they done the first test, and now there's the retest.
Oh, it wasn't for the NCT or anything.
No, it wasn't. No.
Um,
Went to the Mead game then on Saturday. Go on.
Mead ladies.
No, Mead lads. Over
All right,
Cup
okay.
against Laois.
How's Colm and the lads doing?
Is
Is it a new era for Mead?
Yeah, I suppose the first maybe 5-10 minutes of each half was new, and then it was the same old.
Oh,
Yeah, but it'll take a while to knock 5 years of Mac in the out, you know.
yeah. Do you remember when I saw that today on the TV when Klopp came in at Liverpool?
Yeah,
Those first. Oh, jeez, nearly knocked me coffee.
it takes a while to change from
Yeah.
what the other manager was doing.
Takes ages. And John Boy?
What did I do the weekend? I chilled out. I think we went to the beach. Did we
Sounds
go?
like something you might remember.
Did we go to the beach? I think we did. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, it was on your Instagram story, no?
Yeah, that was
Went
it.
to
Yeah.
that fight club on the way home.
That plane crash. Do you remember?
You were wearing your blue jumper.
Yeah.
Was
to
the weather
beach.
not awful at the beach?
Oh, absolutely terrible.
Oh,
It was horrible. But we were prepared. It was like proper Irish visit
you
to the
stayed
beach.
in the car.
Big woolly jackets, gloves.
But you done it as a family. That's
Yeah, we
the
did it as a family. The kids absolutely loved it.
That's nice.
We wore welly boots. We did everything. Big jacket with hoods and
Was it Julianstown or Gormastown?
Bettystown.
Oh, right, okay.
Did you have to place yourself?
Did I have to which?
Was anybody else there?
No, it was quite busy actually.
Really?
But everybody else that was wrapped up really warm.
Yeah.
It was everybody out walking the dog. And then there was a gang of women, there was about probably 8 of them, went swimming.
No way.
They must have been doing it.
polar plunges.
They were doing it for something because they all wore the same colour swimming suit and they all had the same towels, those dry rope things.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe
And
New
they went-
Year's resolution, they all went in and bought the stuff together.
I'd imagine
do it
so.
together.
Yeah.
There's a charity thing. I saw it on Facebook. There's a charity thing going on at the moment. A load of those polar plunges
Oh.
for different charities. And
I'd say they did it for charity. It looked like it was fairly well organised.
stuff.
So, but that was, and then Sunday just chilled out, just power washed the garden, did a DIY'd my front yard.
Did you just say you power washed your garden?
I call the whole area the garden.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I have a concrete path and all that kind of stuff.
All right. You power wash your grass.
Power washed it inside the greenhouse too.
Love
Nice.
a bit of power washing.
Getting the cobwebs off there. What?
Love a bit of power washing.
Bit of love. That's nothing more.
Do you have
Manly.
a plug-in power washer or a Jenny?
Oh, plug in one. The Jenny would rip off the whatever it is that said make bits of me concrete.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Power washer is a very satisfying thing to
it
use.
is,
Yeah.
especially when it's really dirty.
Yeah.
But I keep mine fairly clean, so it's not as satisfying.
I do the dog every month.
You power wash your
Are we
dog,
still on
yeah.
power washers? Yeah,
Is he okay?
we both went one way with that.
yeah.
I don't think they got it.
It could have went both ways.
All right. Well,
You power wash the
It's so
dog.
weird that I'm right in front of you.
I know. It's
Hang
right
on,
in the
you,
eyes.
you did power wash the dog.
I don't know, listen.
Would you give him a wash? Actually, have you seen
Yeah.
the dog wash thing on the Kells Road out in Avon? Have you seen that?
No.
It's like a.
Drive through, is it?
It was your mum that told me about it. It was like
Okay.
it's like a hut thing,
Mm.
and you put, it's like a car wash for dogs, but you put them in one side,
Yeah.
and they come out the other side clean. Like,
Fuck.
Clean or mangled, one or the other.
They come out traumatized.
they've survived. I think that most of them have survived. anyway.
5 out of 10 dogs
But it's
survive.
a dog car wash, yeah.
Yeah.
Dog wash.
That's weird.
Yeah. So I'll test
I
it
see,
out.
I see a
check
couple of
that out.
mobile ones like in vans and stuff.
Yeah.
I'll throw the kids in.
Yeah,
Jason
I was gonna
Sheeran
ask
doing
about
that.
that.
One of the Sheeran lads from Trim.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's he doesn't do it anymore. He sold it.
Oh, did he?
Thought that.
Someone from up in Killeen must do it because it goes by the house all the time.
Oh, right.
I
Oh,
do
I
see it around Trim still the odd time I too.
Oh, I see. So he's moved on. I have no news. I didn't do anything at the weekend. Gigs, maybe? I was gigging somewhere.
Oh,
Where was I? Oh, Minute.
oh, the roost. Yeah,
It was dead.
heard about that.
First Friday in January is a bleak time to be
Yeah.
playing a gig.
Yeah.
Jesus, no one.
Are the students all at home, like for holidays?
Yeah, they wouldn't be back yet even, would they?
Yeah,
Did you
their
know?
exam
Some of
started on Friday.
Oh, there was no one there. There was no one there on Friday anyway. Friday's a bad day for students as well. They're all gone home. The Maynooth ones anyway. It's all the locals we play to. But it was dead. What are you pointing at?
No, don't. You're not meant to say that. This is like behind the scenes.
Oh, right.
Something came up in the camera to see what it was. So,
Is it like that ghost from Three Men and a Baby?
oh.
Do you not see that?
Ghost from 3 Men and a Baby.
There's a ghost in Three Men and a Baby in one of the scenes, and like a window scene. Look it up. It's like a famous
Oh.
scene. Apparently, there's like a ghost in that scene. Anyway, we get on to the news.
Oh, it wasn't part of the movie.
No, it was. They find it afterwards.
Three men, a
Um,
baby, and a ghost.
This one is for Bertie and somewhat for me as well. This
Oh, excellent.
piece of news. A study finds that drinking energy drinks causes hair loss in men. Would you be particularly? Would you drink energy drinks?
No, you
Often?
shouldn't. You shouldn't drink energy drink.
No, you
Monster,
never do?
no. Red Bull, no.
None.
No, I wouldn't be drinking them either. I think it's
No.
hereditary for the both of us. Apparently.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Um,
I've never tasted Monster. Is it nice?
I've never tasted.
It is quite
Yeah.
nice in fairness, yeah.
There's loads of different types, but
Yeah.
I haven't had any of them.
No, it is nice, yeah, it is nice.
Does
I
it
like
taste like Red Bull or Shark?
No, it tastes like a blueberry drink, but has an extra, that little Red Bully kind of ending to it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it just has that.
There's
But it's
em-
lovely.
There's always empty cans. Like the bin in the gym is full. Of
I know,
Monster.
I know lads that drink Monster after Monster, like.
Like I have no idea why people drink the energy drinks going in. I mean, you can drink a pre-workout. That's different. But energy drinks is the wrong kind of energy.
What is pre-workout? Is that just cocaine in a bottle?
It depends what pre-workout you use.
Right, because I've seen people drinking that and then
Yes,
puking straight away.
It's just like there's caffeine, a certain amount of caffeine in it.
Right.
But like you get a pre-workout and like Monster is like 3 times as much or something.
Oh, really?
Caffeine, yeah. It's caffeine's ridiculous, and the sugar.
All right.
So, and then you can get like, I don't know, they say sugar-free months or something, but
how
know.
how low in energy do you have to be to drink those things?
I know,
How
like,
much energy do you need to go and do a workout? Like,
when I started training, and say you're after working all day or whatever, and you might feel a little bit tired, I'd only take it when I felt tired. Other people take it as standard going to the gym.
Right.
Which is like everything. The more you take it, the less it works, and then the more you have to take, and then it's a vicious cycle of it then.
But energy drinks now in general are... I wouldn't have considered an energy drink like Monster to be something you have before working out. I'd imagine before an exam or when you're gaming or on the computer or something like that, like competitions. Like keep your brain active really rather
people,
than your body.
Yeah, people drink that as well. But there's like... Is it 200 mgs or something of caffeine in Monster or something?
And how much is in a coffee?
I love how your voice goes higher and higher as you're talking. The having anything in your stomach before you're working
I'll
out.
check.
We were playing five-a-side there last week, and I had a big thing of spaghetti bolognese, and I thought it was early enough in the day to have it and then go play football.
Yeah.
After about 10 minutes, it was like in my throat. I nearly puked spaghetti bolognese all over the place.
I remember the time I was doing I think it was a 10k run up in Phoenix Park with the Reserve Defence Forces thing I was doing, and I didn't run. I was just physically fit naturally, like because I was so skinny. Yeah. So I didn't practice or didn't run, and it was my first ever 10k. And I think we were out the night before. And that morning, I drank maybe 3 Lucozade Sports right before.
For that 10% extra.
Yeah, I was like, all right, I'm dehydrated.
Did you think that was 30% then?
I think so, yeah. Well, I was dehydrated. I said, okay, if I have these 3 Lucozade Sports, it'll hydrate me and also give me the energy to run. And I was running on the main straight, on the main part of Phoenix Park. Yeah. And it was a gorgeous sunny day. It was like around 11 o'clock. Right. And I was like, okay, this isn't good. I like ran a bit more. And then I ran up against the tree, absolutely puked. It was literally Lucozade Sport came out of me.
Back into the bottle.
It was the same. It was literally those 3 bottles I puked out. And I looked up and there was a father and a mother with 2 kids having a picnic just in front of me. And I had to go, I'm so sorry. And I kept on running and I finished it.
Well, you'd have to at that stage, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You just ran away from them, really.
Yeah. But there was like about 200 of us, like, and every time as I was puking, just lads were running. Come on, Johnny, and they're patting me back as I kept, and they were just running as well. And I was like, holy shit! And then I ended up having to keep on running, like, but did it.
Unbelievable.
It says there's 160 mgs of caffeine per can, and in a normal coffee drink there's 40.
Holy Jesus.
As in this coffee drink here.
It just says coffee.
Is that Monster?
Yeah, Monster. Yeah.
40. And what was in the Monster?
160
Oh, Jesus.
in one can, like.
That's
I
unreal.
see kids drinking that, like.
Yeah.
If you go into a shop
Yeah,
after like when the school's closed, you see kids in buying it.
I thought it was like under a certain age you couldn't buy those drinks.
That's true.
I live out in the country, so anything goes. But like little kids have loads of energy, like we're
putting it in their cereal and stuff out.
But like you're going to work out, right? So everybody has a max heart rate. So it's usually like 220 minus your age.
It's a good porn name, that. Max heart rate. Go on.
And you're going into workout. So say if you start off in your workout and you're like 70 BPM and you do a hard workout, maybe deadlifting or squats, which is the most taxing one, and it goes up to maybe 120, 125. Mm-hmm. But if you drink a Monster and you're already at 120 and now you do a deadlift, now you're shooting up to 160, 170.
Jesus.
And you're getting close to your max heart rate. That's when you pass out.
Max heart rate.
Yeah.
I'm going to use that someday.
Introducing. But they're meant to be bad for your health. Oh no, addictive. That's the word I was looking for. Because I know a guy that drinks them after each other, but he's addicted, like, and he can't get off them.
The sugar in
it's
them.
Caffeine.
Yeah.
Caffeine and sugar. Yeah.
So he moved on to coffee to try and cut down on it.
He's like 14 coffees a day. I'm off the Monster, but I'm grand.
Basically, yeah.
I'm drinking loads of coffee. All right, let's move on. We stayed in that topic. I don't even remember what it was about.
There's an energy drink podcast.
Yeah. Did you see about Paul Mescal?
Oh, he's going to be in the Gladiator.
He's going to be the Gladiator.
He's not,
taking over thingies. Yeah. So he's.
Are you not entertained?
It's just
no, Paul. No,
it's,
we're not.
it's just reports at the moment, but I think it's pretty much confirmed. Everyone's like reporting it now.
He'd be like, "Are you entertained? Are you?"
What way is the story going?
Is it a prequel? It has to be a prequel. He
your man died,
yeah,
so
Russell Crowe died.
maybe it's going to be the younger version of him.
Oh,
yeah.
I'd like that.
I think it has to be. Yeah, it's
because of all the battles that he fought and
the
legions he commanded and the so on and so forth.
Be good to see an Irish lad getting
Maximus Aurelius Decimus.
Commander of the four armies of the north.
So the other people that have auditioned for it, Austin Butler, I don't know who that is. Timothy Chalamet.
Austin Butler is your man that played Elvis.
Oh yeah, yeah. Richard Madden is that Scottish fella, isn't it? He was in some of the. Was it Game of Thrones? He was in Game of Thrones. And then Miles Teller. Who's Miles Teller?
He's your man that was Goose's son in Top Gun.
Oh yeah, he's good actually. I like him.
No way.
But
He should have been Elvis.
apparently Mescal's top of the list there.
Oh.
Okay, last piece of news. This was horrific. Base jumper leaps 120 meter tower off a 120 meter tower, but the parachute doesn't open, and his friend filmed the entire thing. Did you see this in Russia?
It's that your man that's hanging off the thing.
No, he's not hanging off the edge. He's just standing on the edge.
Oh, it's different.
This was all over social media
How
stuff
was he?
last week. He survived.
Yeah.
But because of the snow on the ground, that's the only reason that he survived.
Wow.
He broke. What was it? He broke. I think he broke.
Coccyx.
He broke his leg, and he had a few fractures and stuff. Oh yeah, sorry. There it is. There fractured his vertebrae, pelvis, and legs, but was able to walk again within 3 months.
Is there a video?
There is a video. I don't actually have it.
Well, there is an old saying: you don't need a parachute to go parachuting, but you do need one to parachute a second time.
Yeah, that's true.
Ah,
yeah.
yes, that old Chinese
That's
proverb.
a proverb. Yeah, wise man once say.
I'll see if I can get it and put it on the TV screen now in a little while.
It's like in, do you see the other guys? Samuel L. Jackson and the rockets start and they're going to jump off the building. It's like, aim for the bushes. And they just jump off.
So yeah, that would put me off doing, not that I would have anyway, but doing base jumping. But would you do any of that type of stuff? Like parachuting and...
Probably. My dad did. Did you know that?
Did he?
Yeah, when he was younger.
No.
He did a couple. I think did he break his leg or something?
Oh Jesus! While parachuting? Oh, on the landing was it?
Yeah, not because there wasn't a parachute. Just the landing. He landed arseways and hurt his leg, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, he did it a few times. I'd probably possibly do it. I don't know.
I'd love to do it.
I don't like heights, but
Yeah.
at that point, like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't make a
they're already
difference.
falling. Like, so.
Yeah.
I think what is it when a plane takes off? It's over a certain amount of feet that it's just like, yeah, you're going to be dead. He just ignored me and moved on. Okay, go on.
it's quite dangerous.
Yeah,
Like,
well,
So they say. So they say.
Yeah.
I watched it was like all these ex-paratroopers,
right.
and for was it the anniversary of something, Normandy, World War, whatever, and a load of
It's a pretty big thing to breeze by, but anyway.
and they do it every year.
Yeah.
So it's like loads of them, like from that way retired, and then like newer ones have retired, and they went up. And these lads have maybe 150 jumps or whatever, and they still hurt themselves. And this is just like normal parachuting.
Are these like 80-year-old veterans of World War II or something?
So some of them were quite old, but
A reunion jump.
I think your man that the show was from was he's your man, Combat Dealers. Did you ever watch that show?
Yeah.
And so isn't it? I can't remember his name, but he's like maybe in his late 40s, early 50s, mid 50s.
Yeah.
And he hurt his back, and he had like done loads of it.
So he knows how to land and stuff.
And he told a good story about that. Actually, someone in World War II in this village parachuted and got stuck on the bell, and he went deaf because he got stuck up there and the bell was going.
No way.
Yeah.
But would you do base jumping or bungee jumping or that, the squirrel suit thing?
Well, it has to
that's
be
flying
insane.
through the mountains.
It has to be easier when the Nazis aren't trying to kill you.
Well, I'd say so. Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't fancy that.
anything is like ironing, making a podcast.
You could put that to every story, couldn't you? Technically.
Yeah. I had breakfast this morning. It was easier because the Nazis weren't after me.
Yeah.
When I was a teenager, I did that thing where you put a parachute on and they tow you with a speedboat.
Oh, and you go up in the sky.
Oh, deadly,
What's
yeah.
it called? Paragliding?
Yeah, paragliding.
Is that what
Yeah.
it's called? Yeah.
Yeah.
I did that when we were on holidays. It's pretty cool.
Class.
And survived. Obviously, you're here.
I
to
think
tell
so.
us. Either that or you died then.
The guy doing it was a fucker. Like he kept slowing the boat down, so you'd drop and he'd be like, "Look out for sharks!" And then he'd speed up again. And there probably was sharks there.
Where was this? Spain or something?
In Lanzarote.
Oh right, yeah.
Class.
Yeah, they probably would have been. Yeah.
Yeah, there would have been. Yeah.
Oh man, sharks!
so-
Don't get me started on sharks.
But yeah.
So unanimous, maybe there.
I'd
Would
give it a
you
go.
do it?
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
Even after you've had kids?
Well, it's
Feck
yeah.
them, they're on their own.
I'm not bringing them with me.
Well, yeah. You wouldn't if you passed away. You wouldn't
Hold
bring
on
them
to
with you
them.
either.
Hold on to them. Let's go. Do you trust me? Do you trust me?
You have to do it with someone like behind you.
Ah, no, I do it on my own.
No, so you have to like be
Sure, all you
like
have to do
proper
is
qualified.
pull it. That's all you have to do.
You're well used to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you have to know when to do it, and
Just
like,
go down when the house reaches.
this cord is like your main shoot. This one's the backup shoot. You know.
I
all
think
that.
you have to go
Two
with
things.
someone when you first do it.
Yeah, I do. In Lithuania, you don't.
All right. Well, fine. A lot of things go.
So
with
I
Lithuania,
do.
I'd say.
I'm going to do it in Lithuania someday. Yeah.
Right. Um,
So you're actively going to try and make it more dangerous.
Yes, I'm going to travel to make it more dangerous.
I'll go all the way to Lithuania.
I'm sure to do like a 10-minute safety briefing or
Whatever it
something before you
takes.
do it.
a little video on YouTube.
If you go to the Philippines, you don't even need a parachute. They'll just push you out.
I think you have to jump off a 6-foot wall to practice.
So today's topic, obviously, was influenced by our guest.
Oh, it wasn't parachuting, no.
It wasn't. No, it wasn't parachuting. Yeah.
Damn it.
Or Jaguars.
Cats.
Is DIY something that I think we've talked about before? We've
Yeah,
done,
we
we've
have
done
a
a
whole
few
episode. Yeah.
of them.
Episode number was about DIY.
It's something that for me gets more. You've been doing DIY on since you were young. You've been doing it yourself since you were young.
Don't tell us all the details.
Oh dear.
My mother's listening to this. so-
Sorry. But you've been interested in like making stuff and like building bits and bobs.
Yeah, but not. I haven't actually done any DIY until we bought a house.
Right.
Did you buy an old house?
Yeah, it's like 100 and something years old.
Nice.
Deadly.
Like a cottage?
Yeah, it's an old stone kind of cottage out in.
It's Bertie's dream. Bertie wants one.
Don't give addresses out in the podcast.
Yeah.
Just say it's somewhere in Ireland.
Yeah, it's in an
Otherwise, the
undisclosed
paparazzi will
location.
find you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of a necessity because it was a fixer-upper.
Yeah.
And we didn't really have any money to pay someone to do it, so I figured I'll just do it.
Yeah.
How much
Brilliant.
of a fixer-upper? Like, could you live in it at the start, or were you like in a caravan?
Yeah, no, we could live in it straight away.
Oh.
That was a prerequisite for buying somewhere because we were renting and we didn't know anywhere else to go, so we needed somewhere that was ready to go into. There was
Yeah.
a few houses that we saw that were nice, but they weren't ready to move into. So that was...
And did you always want a fixer-upper? Like, did you look at ones that were, or was it a budget thing?
Yeah, well, I think when you buy a house, you're going to fix up stuff anyway. You're going to change things. You're not going to move in and leave it exactly as it is. So you're always going to do something. But in this case, we had to do a lot of demolition and stuff. It was quite fun. Like,
And so, what was the first thing when you moved into the house? What was the first bit of DIY that you had to do?
bathroom.
Right.
Well, like, small stuff, but bathroom was the first major thing. There was no shower. Like, it was, I don't know who was in our house before us, but I think they were a bit odd or something.
Smelly.
Yeah, definitely smelly, yeah. There's no shower, really.
Just a bath, was it?
Yeah, it was a bath and then like a shower head, but like the water pressure was just like
Or was it connected to the tap, like?
a dribble. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know how they washed themselves or if they did.
Your bucket.
Possibly, yeah. So yeah, that was the first thing, bathroom, shower.
And that water pressure thing. How did you fit a new pump?
Well, there wasn't a pump there to begin with. There was only
Oh.
there's a tank in your attic
Yeah,
that
yeah.
feeds the water
So it's
down.
gravity
So it's
fed.
just gravity.
Yeah, and the tank was just above here. Like it wasn't in the second story.
Yeah.
It was in the first story. So
All right.
yeah, we just put a pump in.
Yeah.
So
And did you put in the pump yourself?
No, I've done all the work in the house myself except some of the early plumbing stuff.
Yeah.
But what I did was when the plumber came, I said to him, "Look, I don't know anything about plumbing. Can I help you?"
Deadly.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
So me and him kind of did it together. He showed me this is what you do for this and this and this.
Yeah.
So now I can kind of do plumbing stuff.
I'd probably risk. I'd do it yourself plumbing on the bottom floor, but I wouldn't chance it on the second floor because it's more forgiving. If you have a leak on the bottom floor, yeah, grand, your tiles get wet or something. But if you have a slow leak in your bathroom upstairs from something you didn't do properly, it could be 2 years before you even notice a big stain on your.
Possibly, yeah. But
I'd be
plumbing-
paranoid.
Have you done any plumbing?
Yeah, like we've done the same scenario. We bought not an old house, but a house that was fairly. The guy who lived there before us was obviously a DIY guy, but a really bad DIY guy. So
Right, yeah.
we had to rip out everything that he did.
That sounds familiar.
So we put in like our new kitchen, did all the sinks, the bathroom sinks, all that kind of stuff, but on the ground floor. And I wouldn't touch upstairs now.
But you did plumbing, like
Plumbing, yeah, like got pipes, went to a hardware, got pipes to the U-bends, all that jazz. Yeah. Didn't bend the copper pipe thing, I didn't have the tools.
yeah. But did you do like drainage plumbing from a sink, say, or did you put in new water lines? Like
No, just existing area, like the sink. Well, I moved the sink maybe 3 foot to the left, but same drainage lines, same water lines, everything like that.
and you didn't extend the water lines. Is what I'm asking.
No, I could because they were these flexi pipe things, so I could
reach.
just drag them across. Yeah,
Just pull them across.
yeah.
It's not too bad. I put in radiators yesterday.
Nice. I've one room to renovate, and I want to get one of those old vintage radiators. You know the big steel ones you see in your old school. I want to get one of them, but I don't know whether I can retrofit that into an existing 2-pipe thing.
I'm sure you can if the Fittings are available.
I'll be doing a whiskey room in the house.
Oh, lovely, with an old radiator in it.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Just
A whiskey room.
Well, a gin room. It's going to be a whiskey style thing. I have to Google whiskey rooms for inspiration.
Rooms to fucking spare out there in Kildalkey. One for Jane, one for your shoes.
I don't have a shoe room. Who has a shoe
You got a
room?
room for Jane. And how did you learn how to do any of that early stuff? Was it just YouTube?
Yeah.
Yeah.
YouTube's fantastic.
Yeah.
And then trying stuff out.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, it's all pretty easy.
Mm.
It's not complicated.
Yeah.
Some stuff is complicated, but like plumbing is not really. I don't want to diss any plumbers out there. Just say, for what I'm doing, I'm not plumbing a house from scratch. I'm just adding on stuff to what's already there.
Yeah,
You're just making connections. It's like Lego.
Yeah.
It's pretty simple.
Right.
And did you have all the tools? Like, one of my burdens was not having the right tools. And my wife's always like, will you do that tomorrow? I'm like, I don't have the tools. Can't do it.
Yeah, but then you're like, oh, and I have an excuse to go out and buy tools. Oh, great.
Yeah, true.
Use that to its full potential.
Yeah.
And
It's
just lie and be like, oh, I need this tool.
I'd be worried to buy one tool though, because then you'd never use it again. But then all of a sudden, then you find yourself wanting it the next time.
You think
Yeah.
that, but like,
I want to buy a nail gun, like one of those nail guns, like 350 quid. But
Do you have a purpose for it now at the moment?
yeah, I need to do all the skirting all around,
All right,
all
okay.
around the house. But
I'm not big into nails because if you make a mistake, they're awkward as hell to take out.
sure. What would you use to put on skirting then?
Screws. Or
Screw into the stud itself, and then just patch it up, the screw head.
yeah, or drive the screw right through so you can't actually see it.
Mm.
You might just see a tiny hole, but like if you're looking at your skirting board, your skirting board's white. Yeah, I suppose that might stand out quite a bit. But
Yeah.
yeah, you could fill over,
You would fill
or
it
use nails.
and paint it.
It's your house.
Yeah, interesting.
advice.
Just in general, like,
Yeah,
And electrical stuff. Where do you stand in electricity?
well, I was an electrical apprentice for 6 months.
okay.
Oh well, Dan, there you go.
6 months. Cool.
6 months. But that was
Qualified.
That's kind of like you said.
yeah. I was a plumber for 6 months or so.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you could have
And
done
then
our radiators first.
I ran. This was my first intro to the podcast. I ran. I was the head of plumbing in Navanhire. Because I told the lad in Navanhire that I had like so many years experience as a plumber. He took me on, and then after like a matter of weeks, he was like,
You know not.
you know
You
nothing
lied.
about plumbing. He was like, yeah. He's like, I'm gonna have to fire you. I'm like, okay, good. This is great.
Thanks.
So you did.
No way.
You did the Sparks, yeah. Did you have a Mitsubishi Colt when you did the Sparks thing?
That was
Yeah,
my first car.
Okay, now I remember.
That was a piece of crap.
So did that experience set you up, do you think, for doing Spark stuff in your house?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, even like there's some theory involved, so you need to know like how much power is going through cables and what sizes to use and that kind of stuff. But other than that, you're just making connections. It's like plumbing. You
Right.
just match the colors.
And just turn off the power.
Yeah, if you need to. If you can,
You wouldn't be worried about like dealing with electrical wires and stuff?
not really, no.
No.
I've got shocks before.
Yeah.
Loads and loads of them.
New hairstyle.
Yeah, no. I don't know. Maybe. Well, like I said, I worked with it for like 6 months, so maybe that gave me the confidence to do it. I think a lot of it comes down to confidence. If you're not confident, you won't even try.
Yeah.
And if you do try, then you'll see that it's not so bad.
And a very accepting wife, by the signs of things.
Oh yeah, she's some woman.
When did you start? Like, are you finished?
What?
The house?
Oh no.
Oh,
It'll never be finished.
We didn't last 5 years.
okay, very good.
He's
Still
building a replica of the Playboy Mansion. Is what's gonna it's gonna finish
Nice.
up like
What's the pool? You're doing a pool?
In Lego.
in Lego. Yeah.
I actually have a pond that will double
Nice.
as a pool in the summer.
Ah, excellent.
That's
That's
savage.
awesome. Will you put in some fish and stuff like that? And
Yeah, that's done now. That's
Brilliant.
We did that last year.
class.
And
Yeah,
the
it's good.
walls on the inside were the lime plastered.
No, they weren't. They were. Oh no, sorry, they were. They had really old lime plaster on it.
Take it down, no, and repoint the brickwork, or did you plaster over?
A bit of both. Because when we moved in, the walls had a lime plaster on it, and then they had wallpaper on top of that, and then they had like multiple coats of paint over the years. So it was just
Lead paint as well.
To stop the damp getting in.
it was just a mess. Like, so we had to rip everything out, and yeah, we did lime plaster some of it, and then other parts of it are stone and brick. And we repointed that.
And did your other half then? Did she get involved? Did she get her hands dirty as well?
No, well, she kind of finances stuff,
Very good.
so that's her.
That was her responsibility.
Yeah,
Finance department,
Good.
building department.
Counts.
She does the garden. She looks after the garden.
Everybody needs accounts.
The garden is amazing. And
Yeah,
does,
she loves the garden stuff.
Yeah, she does a lot of gardening. And
Fair play to her.
yeah, she puts a lot of work into
And
it.
where does she get her green fingers from?
Her mother likes gardening.
Yeah.
She kind of took on gardening in our old house. We were all before we moved. We were renting an old kind of stone farmhouse with a nice
Lovely.
old, really mature kind of nice garden.
Oh, sounds nice.
So she was doing work in that, and then she got her own garden when we moved. So
Brilliant. She's delighted.
she's kind of gone all out.
So that's her DIY project, really.
Yeah, I guess
fair
that's
play.
fair to say. Yeah, she's kind of
Lovely.
taking care of that end of it. But yeah, she's doing a ton of work. She was going out. She'll probably give out to me for saying this, but she was growing flowers last year,
Right.
and she was apparently the slugs love them. So she was determined not to let the slugs get them. So she was going out every night with a torch
Yes.
and a bag, going around like
Legend.
slug hunting.
You just put you put eggshells around them.
Yeah, I think she tried that.
Doesn't that work now? It worked for my cabbage.
I'll tell her. You wasted your time, love. You should have got some eggshells.
Maybe she likes the slug hunted. That's,
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Because they love the cabbage as well.
It was kind of gross though, because I'd open the wheelie bin and there's all these bags of dead slugs. Like, like nappy bags.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
What's the other thing? Salt or something as well, I think.
There's a few things,
Yeah.
I don't know. But like with salt, like it rains, it washes the salt away.
That's true.
Yeah,
And then you get salt in your soil and it damages the plants.
Yeah.
Same is kind of true.
Salty
like,
soil tastes terrible.
So what's the next thing then on the horizon in terms of building or?
well, we have to do our kitchen. Our kitchen's kind of disgusting.
Right.
It's like you were saying. The guy who lived there before us was a DIY dude.
Yeah.
I think he built the kitchen himself because the kind of walls are crooked and stuff.
Yeah.
The floor is not level.
Oh.
The light switches are all different. The
Yeah,
whole
there's
thing
some-
is just kind of.
I'd say it's some laughable scenarios. Like when we were doing our DIY stuff, the scenarios of, like, let's say the flooring. Like, around the architrave, he literally just cut it square and then filled it with a load of wood filler. Like, it was literally just...
That sounds like something
He
like
didn't even try. He just...
See, I was trying to work it out because I was trying to think of how old he was when he did. There was an old man living in the house.
Yeah.
So I was kind of thinking, well, he did this in the 80s or so.
Wow.
He would have been in his probably 60s. So I'm thinking he just did it good enough
To last him.
to last him.
his life.
Yeah, he's like, I'm going to be dead in 20 years. I'm not going to
Yeah.
go mad. I'm not going to pay someone. Like, I'll just do
Yeah.
a
And,
mediocre job myself.
He built the extension that is the kitchen, so is the structure really sound like?
It's still there, so I think.
And is it a flagstone or?
That's just tiles. Yeah, well, we're gonna have to gut it completely.
Did you find that really cool when you were renovating, like something that was 110 years old or
Do you know what? I found some old newspapers
class?
from the 90s, and I was able to look at I can't remember what newspaper it was, but I had the TV section from the 90s. So I was looking at like RTE shows I would have watched when I was a kid.
Deadly good
that was
memory.
pretty cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
I liked that. We found a ton of bottles. I think somebody may have been an alcoholic at some point in the house.
Okay.
Hit everywhere.
Out in the garden, we found like hundreds of bottles, like hidden, buried under hedges and stuff.
Yeah, it probably
Some of
was
them
an
were cool.
alcoholic.
Like we kept a few of them. They were really cool,
Yeah.
kind of old bottles, like old
Whiskey
medicine.
ones. Oh, medicine bottles.
Yeah, there's some. I can't remember what it was. There's some weird old medicine from the 40s or 50s,
Yeah.
maybe.
Jeez.
But
Class.
most of it was like Miller bottles, so we chucked them out.
Class.
Other than that, no, just loads of junk.
Yeah.
Did you restud any of the walls to get them flush, or did you just go with the character in the building?
A bit of both. Yeah, one of the rooms has. I put up studs and plasterboard, plastered it.
Plastering's a hard one.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I don't know if I had to hire a guy to do the plastering.
Yeah,
I
I'll
wouldn't.
be doing that in future because it's.
Yeah.
Well, I've done plastering kind of outside, where you kind of get away with it, but
Yeah.
to get. I just don't know how it's like magic. I really. I have so
You
much,
see a guy just sliding across and it's like absolutely perfect.
Yeah,
first time.
I have so much respect for plasterers because
The joints are
I've done it, like-
ridiculously hard. I tried that and put the plaster tape down the joint
Yeah.
and plastered over, and like within like a couple of months you can see the crack coming. I think, oh, that was a shit
man.
job I done.
Yeah.
yeah,
It's about how you mix it, isn't it? If you don't want it to crack and stuff.
it's really hard. It's but like I said, I'd do it outside. Here's a tip for you: if you're doing some outside, I think I heard you saying you want to make raised beds. Is that right? Concrete blocks or something.
No.
Oh.
But
flower
I
beds.
do want to do it, but that's
Yeah.
amazing if you guess that.
Well, I'm pretty sure I heard it
Yeah, you said it on the podcast.
Oh, if you're at, yeah, well then, yeah, I want to do raised beds at the back, yeah.
in blocks.
So blocks, and then I'll be putting some kind of canvas at the front, like fake stone thing.
Oh, you're not going to plaster it.
No, I was going to plaster it with the limestone look, as in the white stuff, but it's too expensive, so I'll have to probably put it. But I do want to do it if it's going to work out.
Okay.
Are you going to do that?
I've done it.
So you're free next March maybe?
Possibly.
All right, no worries. We'll have a chat.
And do you have a budget like you don't have to say how much, but like was it reasonable to purchase, considering that it had work to do?
Oh yeah,
And,
big
like,
time.
has the budget gone, on what you've done? But obviously you said it's over 5 years as well. Like
Yeah, it's not really. Don't really have a budget. It's more like
Ongoing.
this is a job. We do this. We get that done. Next job.
yeah. We're not like my wife particularly is not like this needs to be done right now. She's fairly laid back.
And do you have kids?
Yeah, we have 2 kids,
Is that, yeah, grand.
and we have another one on the way
Congratulations.
in May. Thank you very much.
Class.
More
You have to build another room.
We literally do,
Oh, savage.
but that won't be for a while.
What's the deal with like planning permission? Just whatever.
Have you seen where I live?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
So right in the middle of nowhere, and you just kind of build.
Do whatever you want.
I haven't asked for permission for anything I've done so far, but we probably will have to for an extension.
Right. Okay.
But
Is it at the back of the house? Is it?
is it what, sorry?
Is it at the back of the house?
Extension?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's kind of hard to explain, but the road kind of runs along it.
So you can see it, yeah. Because I think it's a 5 meter squared you can do at the back of your house. I think.
you can do 20.
Is it?
Is it 40 foot? No.
What is it?
Is that that's way too many feet?
You can build. You can
40 something.
You have 20. There's an exemption for anything that's less than 20, but then everything else. So if you have 2 sheds that are 10 square meters each,
Yeah.
then that counts as your allowance or whatever.
Oh right.
So, yeah, and our kitchen is technically taken up.
And you probably can't change the front of it then because it's 100 years old, is it?
No, we did. I took off. There was all pebble dash on it.
Oh yeah, but like you couldn't put like bay windows or like
sorry,
a new porch or something on the front of it, like.
No, we don't want it either because it looks nice.
Yeah.
We actually there was a pebble dash on it, and there in March I think I took it all off.
Oh, so now it's a stonework.
It's stone. Yeah, we got it sandblasted.
Nice.
It's amazing how like teams have changed of houses. Like the stone would have been so fashionable, maybe not fashionable, but like that's just the way they done it.
Yeah.
And then someone thinks, oh, do you know what's fashionable now? It's like pebble stone, cover it all up. Like, you know?
Yeah.
'Cause I think the stonework looks really nice.
Yeah, the sandblaster guy. He doesn't just do sandblasting. He does like restoration work on historical buildings and stuff.
Oh, nice.
He was saying that back in the day, whenever stone was seen as you're poor, like you can't afford to plaster it, and now it's kind of come back
The other way around. Yeah.
But it's lovely. Like it's not. You can see all the workmanship.
Yeah,
that went into
I
it,
definitely like the look of the stone in the front. Definitely.
Yeah, no,
that's
it's really really nice. It was a shame to cover it up, so we uncovered it. But we have to point all that now, so that's a job for
Oh, that's pain.
for the spring. Yeah, it's going to be a pain in the ass.
Can I give you the most common DIY disasters? I don't know what this was in. I think it was a Welsh newspaper. Yeah, Wales Online. They gave the top 10 DIY disasters. Can you tell me if you've done any of these, or if you've done any of these? So I'll go from 10. So measuring a space wrong, so the item doesn't fit. So you measure your space wrong, and then when you put the item into it, it doesn't fit.
Jesus, every time.
You meant to measure twice.
Yeah. Remember that tip Bertie gave you?
Yeah.
After about measuring
Oh, it
things
hasn't
twice?
gone out of my mind. I thought about going to sleep every night.
Not using the correct screws?
No, never happened.
No.
Well, define correct screws, like the right length
I guess so, yeah.
or the right head.
Yeah, right length. Smashing something because you're frustrated.
I think we've all done that.
Yeah. That's like a common
Mhm.
Is that
example.
DIY?
Yeah, DIY. Putting a hole in a wall. That's pretty common, I'd say, as well. Sticking your fingers together using glue. Have you done that?
No, actually, I haven't.
I've done that. It wasn't DIY related though. It was just glue and stuff.
I once got a cut
That was
on
glue.
my finger and I stuck it back together with glue.
That's why I did that a few weeks ago with a cut in my hand. Put glue in it. Put it back together. That was the first use for super
Hardcore,
glue.
man.
Was
Hardcore.
in the war whenever there was.
Yeah, that's right.
An
They still use it in medicine.
Yeah.
Although the stuff I had, it wasn't. I can't remember the name, but it was when I was working in kitchens. We had this stuff. They use it for gluing meat together.
All right.
It's some kind of animal protein,
Oh,
and it fuses meat together.
is it a spray?
No, it's a powder.
Oh, okay.
So say you had 2 steaks, that were small. You could sprinkle this stuff on them and stick them together, and they'd actually fuse into a single piece of meat.
Whoa.
I can't remember what the hell it was
Technology.
called.
Imagine putting two cows together.
Running out into the field with the powder and sticking cows together.
Is that how to get double milk?
Jesus
You've
Christ.
got drums right behind you.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm literally in a drum studio.
Yeah, the other ones, they're not really. Yeah, dropping paint on the floor, hitting yourself with a hammer, and covering yourself in paint. Yeah, they're not really disasters, are they? Can I show you a few disasters, and I'll see if you've done any of these? Just a common one. Building the chair. Oh, sorry, it's up there.
Oh, right.
Building a chair, but putting the legs on the wrong side of it.
Well,
Fire certified at least.
It is just ridiculously stupid, isn't it? Oh, this looks like a bit of a disaster DIY way.
That's not DIY. That is just stupidity.
What's going on there?
So it's
What is
a
going
it's a
there?
table that they were trying to make taller.
Oh, just put
So
extra
they
sticks
just
on legs on.
put extra legs around the ends.
It works, I suppose.
I've seen this one a few times.
Yeah.
With the bathroom door
Oh,
won't
yeah.
open, so they cut the hole in the door so that it goes around. The
To be
toilet.
honest, it still doesn't look like it works.
That's clever.
It is pretty smart.
And
Isn't
it'll wipe the seat too, and
Gross.
just in case you get something in it.
This one,
Oh, that's pretty funny.
yeah, this.
I'd say that happens a lot.
It's
to be
Yeah,
honest.
yeah.
That's against building regulations.
Have you ever done that where you put like a cabinet door or something on, and it opens into the other one, or you put a door on the wrong way around?
No.
Yeah, I've done that a few times as well.
Do you ever?
Are these pictures from your house?
Yeah.
I haven't done this one, but that one's pretty funny.
What? Oh,
Oh
He was
no.
putting the bed together, and he put the strut through the ladder.
that's pretty good.
It's the last one. I have done this one.
Yeah.
Varnish yourself into a
Well,
tight
yeah,
spot there.
painted
To the centre
myself
of the
into a corner, literally. Yeah, I've done that a few times. Ridiculous. You think you'd learn, and then this one. Look at that.
That's no good, is it?
That's a case of measure twice. A door that's too small for the thing. Ridiculous.
Did you see the one of The Apprentice and he doing the kitchens?
No.
And he has the cabinet door open and he's putting the handle on and the boss comes in and he's like, oh yeah. He goes, no, look, I've done all the handles. And he closes the cabinet and he was putting the handles on the inside because he had it open like.
Oh no.
Class. Absolutely class. So yeah, new room. What's the future plans for the house? Like, do you have an ultimate goal for it where you're going to be like, oh, I want to extend out a big massive thing that you have to do, or is it just?
Yeah, we need more bedrooms because we have too many kids and not enough rooms. So we're going to be building 2 extra bedrooms, and then
Oh, 2, nice.
Rooms are probably harder to make.
yeah, well, it's basically we're going to be like copy and pasting our house. So,
The whole thing, like.
yeah, so we've got like
Wow.
yeah, it's kind of hard to explain, but we'd be building basically another house attached to the house that we have.
Oh yeah.
So it's a big job. I won't be doing that.
Yeah, there's one up the road from me, and like it was like your standard cottage, like your 2 rooms down, 2 rooms up, whatever.
Mm.
And they copied and pasted twice, and it's literally like the 3 cottages now, and it's all together a massive house. Isn't it?
And are they all are they sharing a wall, or is there a walkway between them?
No, yeah, they're interconnected as far as you can tell because you can't see around the side. But like it's just one big house now.
Yeah.
Oh, massive so it is. I
That's
don't know what
cool.
way they connected it. Like,
Not a stitch of planning permission.
But are they together? Are they touching, like, or are they?
no. There's like a little gap, so it must be kind of a walkway. It's just from the way I drive round, you can't really see
Yeah.
what way they're connected. But it's probably maybe a hallway. I don't know if it's like a full.
That's not up
Wet
near
wa-
the,
walkway,
up near the
right?
race course, is it?
No, it's out in Borsmill up by me. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What were you saying about being connected by? Is that there's some sort of rule around it being connected in a certain way, or
I was just curious.
is
Yeah.
it just? Is
It
it
would make
easy-
sense to have them actually connected just
Touching,
for
yeah.
heat for heating. and stuff.
Yeah.
Because you see some of the fancy ones, there's like
Oh, yeah, there's like a thin-
glass corridor or
Yeah,
something to
yeah.
connect it. Like
That one that was on the Appboy Road that they were forced to knock that. The one that they built without planning permission.
Oh yeah.
That was all that sort of like
Yeah,
little corridors.
I think that they were living in it for like 10 years or something.
Yeah.
And it was a constant going to court, and eventually I had to knock it.
Is it true? I've heard this. Is it true that you can build whatever the hell you want, but if you come to sell the house, then you have to apply for a retention?
Yeah.
That's how you can get cut out, or if you've got unsound neighbours.
Yeah, that's too.
They're the 2 ways that you can get cut out, but otherwise
Yeah.
you can just build whatever
Well,
the
it
hell you want.
depends.
Really.
If you have
Think
your
so.
own money, because obviously if you go for a mortgage, that's different.
Oh yeah, I suppose if you're self-funding it, you can do.
Yeah,
what you
because
want.
the architect has to sign off on every phase of the house
Yeah,
to the
yeah.
bank. So basically, the architect can be a bit of a dick if he wants to be, because he has the control of your money.
Yeah,
of your
yeah.
mortgage.
Oh, when it gets released and stuff.
Yeah, because he said, "Oh, that part is done," and he goes and signs off on it, and the bank will dribble you the next bit of money or something. I think that's how it works.
Right. Interesting. You're much better doing it your way and just building it bit by bit.
Well, yeah, that's what I've been doing so far. So
Yeah.
well, I didn't really have the money to do everything at once.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just kind of the way it worked out.
And for someone about to thinking of getting into the same boat now, would you do it all over again?
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's worth it.
Yeah. Well, like you learn a lot, and it's quite empowering to
Yeah.
to
No,
learn.
looking at something that you did yourself.
yeah, and you learn new skills, and then like say like I put the radiators in, so in a year if I have a problem with radiators, I don't need to ring somebody.
That's deadly.
Unless you're like me,
And
where
I may have a problem because I put them in.
is there anything in your house that you did really poorly, and you just said, right, I'm going to leave it like this, and now you're like 3 years later on, you're walking by it every day going, fucking look at it.
Yeah, some of the plastering.
Yeah.
We decided to put so in our like sitting room and kind of the middle room we call it. We've got the joists are exposed, so we've got plasterboard in between all the joists.
Lovely.
So I decided, I'll plaster in there, no problem, and it looks shit. So I'll be getting whenever we get somebody in. Like we're going to do our kitchen, so whenever we
nice.
get a plasterer in to do that, I'll get him to fix that.
Little
It's
side
quite
thing.
a prominent visual thing, isn't it?
It
That you
looks
can
cool.
see.
It looks cool. But during the day, not so much because like plastering's okay, but then if the sun hits it,
Yeah, you can
you
Yeah,
see
yeah.
all the shadows and the bumps and everything.
Yeah,
So
the sun hitting the wall is terrible.
it looks good at night time, but
Nice.
during the day, not so much.
What about tiling? Have you done any tiling?
Yeah, tiling's okay.
You okay with that?
Yeah,
I
I hadn't done it before we moved. I hadn't done any of this stuff really before we bought the house. So
Yeah.
first thing I ever tiled was our bathroom. I think I did an okay job.
Good.
Okay.
Good.
Their style's alright.
All right. I heard tiling was like one of the hardest, but you think plastering's definitely the worst.
Yeah, there's no question about it at all. Plastering is like an art form. It's just really difficult. Like,
Yeah, it's years of practice to get.
yeah, I wouldn't mind like getting a plaster. When we do get a plasterer in, I'll do the same thing I did with the plumber. And say, here, can I help you?
Yeah.
Show me what consistency the mix needs to be. Show me, like,
Yeah.
teach me.
Yeah. That's huge, isn't it? I suppose the consistency.
Yeah, but yeah, like you can find a lot of this kind of stuff on YouTube, and it's great. But if you're actually there, particularly with plastering,
Yeah.
you can actually see someone working up close. And so,
I said those
I'll do
movements, like it's all in the muscle memory, I suppose, with plastering as well. Just the way you're doing it, it takes years, I'd say, to get to that.
I'd say it's just subconscious for them. But
And the lads that do be on the stilts doing the ceiling.
Oh yeah, it's very.
did you see the guy? There's a guy, or there's probably a couple of them, but there's a video on YouTube of a guy plaster on, the hoverboard things.
Oh, deadly.
Hoverboard on stilts.
Oh, Jesus.
Jesus.
What? The
Plastering
stilts are on the hoverboard.
Stilts are on the hoverboard, and he's taping up the ceiling. Fucking going up and down this room
My
Jesus.
God.
on stilts on a hoverboard. I was like,
That's insane.
That's incredible.
that's
Un-
plastering, stilts, hoverboarding, all together. Like
Just asking for
blew,
death.
blew my mind.
Yeah, I'd be unforgiven now if you did fall. Yeah.
Yeah. Will we go waffle game?
I have a waffle game.
Waffle game.
It's that time, you know the name. It's the reason we all came. Find the words that are the same. It's that time to play the waffle game.
I'll go B.
Okay, so Scotty, you got A.
All right, let's do it, man.
So 30 seconds on the clock, John.
Sorry, what was A and B?
Oh, you won't find out until he.
You don't know.
Oh, see, he's clever.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
So topic A, Scotty. You have 30 seconds to name 5 eastern states of America.
Eastern states. Okay, north, south, east. Okay. Washington D.C., New York, North Carolina, South Carolina, Florida. No, that'd be more south. What else? Maine, Rhode Island.
Europe.
Oh,
Game
Fair
over.
enough. Okay.
I think I did okay there.
Other own.
Oh, you call me Owen, yeah.
30 seconds on the clock again, John.
Mm-hmm.
It's really hard. Your mind's
Topic
going to
B.
go blank.
You have 30 seconds to name 5 western states of America.
California.
That's a biggie.
Can I just use my phone for this? California, Colorado. Is that western?
We can't. We can't.
You can't say
We
that.
can't. We can't guess. We can't
You just
tell
have to
you.
keep on shouting stuff.
Oh God, I'm really bad at geography. What's the one? New Mexico.
Yeah.
California said that.
And Europe.
Wyoming.
Time's up.
You just go blank.
Good.
Yeah,
game.
it's
Yeah,
almost-
the pressure.
yeah.
Pressure.
Yeah.
Even though
It's
if you know
ridiculous.
it.
I'm usually good at quizzes, but
You must be up at 7:30 in the morning listening to Today FM.
Bertie basically stole this game from Today FM, and that's the whole premise of our podcast.
Okay. Scotty, the answer's for you.
Oh, he's taking me first. That means I've lost, I think.
Eastern states of America. Connecticut,
Yeah, but I didn't get that today.
Delaware,
Didn't get that.
Florida,
Oh, got that.
Yeah.
Hey.
Georgia,
Uh,
and Maine.
Georgia.
Yeah, that's what Google says.
I don't know about that now.
No?
I don't know. That's a bit central.
but New York is right on the East Coast, isn't it?
What,
Yeah,
what,
New
did,
York would have been.
what did you say? What was the last one?
Maine.
Did I say that?
Yeah.
Oh, I did. So
You
I
got
got two.
Two,
Oh,
yeah.
that's all right.
Okay.
That's okay.
Now, topic B: Western states of America. Alaska.
Oh, that's way east.
And Hawaii.
Did you say west? Sorry, west. Sorry.
That is one, but not one I have. Arizona, Montana, California,
Nice. One.
and Colorado.
Oh, two.
It's a draw.
Oh,
It's a
all right. So
draw.
is there a tiebreak
We both
situation?
did crap.
Okay, so we have the population of the great state of Colorado, closest to the millions, I suppose, 100,000s.
Colorado.
Okay, so you can go first again if you want. So give me a guess at the population.
In millions.
Yeah, it's in millions, but we want the closest one wins.
Oh, Jesus. 40 million.
40 million
Yeah.
in the state. Okay, fair play. What would your guess be? It's higher or lower? And you have a
It's
chance.
obviously lower.
I'd say it's quite a bit lower. I'd say 8.
Okay, yeah, fair play. You win.
Was it
Well
8?
done.
No, it's 5.8 million.
All right. I don't know how big that
But he was
state
closest.
is. How many people are in the United States in total? Is it like 40 million?
Oh,
It's about 300 or 400 million, I think.
All right, okay.
It's
How
near
was
enough, near enough population to the EU.
All right, okay.
Mm.
All right, I wasn't.
331.9 million as of 2021.
So 40 million wasn't that bad of a guess, in fairness. Like, it want to be a big state, but it's not that far off.
Well, you're about eight times more.
Yeah. Do you want me to Google what state has 40 million?
Yeah, go on. See if there is one.
California, it has nearly 40 million residents.
There you go. There you
And
go.
but that's
Wow.
that's the highest one.
All right, okay.
So
That's
every
at
other
the most-
state is lower.
All right, okay.
So you went right in there at the top.
Robbie Kennedy news.
All right.
Just he himself was talking about sharks earlier on.
Right.
I just seen there that the Sharks had a week dedicated to Robbie there. So they actually
Robbie
had
Kennedy week.
the full week. The Sharks were dedicating a whole week to
Oh
him.
my God. Robbie Kennedy's our
He went swimming there
once.
once, and it was just a dedicated. They just said Robbie week to scare the baby sharks.
Fuck's sake.
Yeah.
And what was your you had another little shell bomb as well that you were going to give out earlier on, but we missed it.
Oh well, it was a kind of a more of a story show, but you guys, maybe a lot of people know, but you know that song Over the Rainbow.
Somewhere over the rainbow, yeah.
Maybe you could play a little clip for it, and then
I'll
I
stick it
can
in
tell the story.
afterwards. Thanks
Yeah.
for making work for me, but yeah.
Yeah. If you could get it, actually, the 1988 version, it would be great.
I'm going to put in a Slayer song there now.
Way up high, and the dreams that you dream of once in a lullaby. Oh, somewhere.
Did you know that was recorded? Basically, your man was he was a Hawaiian guy, Israel. His name is he was like 500 pound,
Big guy, yeah.
huge guy, and he was in bed one night and was thinking of a song and lyrics at 3 a.m. in the morning. And at 3 a.m. he rang his friend who was a sound engineer and said, "I need to record this song." And he went, "Okay, you have 15 minutes to get here." So he ran over. Didn't run, I would say. I'd say he got a lift in some way,
Yeah.
or one of those mini scooters. But
Edit that out.
they'll never know what you edited.
So much work.
And basically, he went straight into the studio, and the guys were like saying, "I have nowhere to sit." He's nowhere to sit because the chairs aren't big enough. But
God damn it! Stop making work for me. I'm not going to edit that out now. You're going to have to
that's
do
fine. It's not insulting. I'm stating how big the guy was.
Okay, go on then.
It was
So you got two chairs.
Hawaiian tradition. Like he was an official Hawaiian Maori-looking guy.
Okay.
But basically,
So racist.
ran down within 15.
Hawaiian Maori.
Yeah, they're two different people. Go on then.
Ran down within 15 minutes.
With the guy he was next door to him, was he?
Sang the song with a ukulele
Right.
in one take. Put his ukulele down and walked out.
No way.
And that song, the exact one, went like one into the world's top digitally thing, like release songs.
No way.
You know, and it was literally just that.
One take.
One take. Within 15 minutes of him thinking of it, and then he went straight back home to bed.
Unreal.
Yeah.
What a savage. Bertie, do you have a...
Do you
Seven.
know the name of the Twitter board?
Tweety.
No.
Oh,
It's got a name, does
it
it?
has got a name.
I would have guessed Tweety.
Its name is Larry.
What?
Yeah.
Why would they call it Larry?
Not anymore, as Musk has probably renamed it.
The infamous
Fired
blue
it.
bird of social media was named after former NBA player Larry Bird, who used to play for Twitter co-founder Bill Stone's home state team, the Boston Celtics. I think he also played for the Chicago Bulls early on. as
That's
well.
right, yeah. Yeah, he was part of that.
Was that just a name made up by like the fans of Twitter, or like actual Twitter CEO said, "I'm calling this bird Larry"?
Yeah, after Larry Bird.
So the actual CEO of Twitter named it.
Yeah, Bill Stone.
Did you ever hear of the term on the wagon or off the wagon?
Yeah.
Do you know where that comes from?
People falling off the wagon?
No.
Oh.
Okay, so there are several stories about its origin, but perhaps the most common one is about prisoners who were on their way to be executed. So that they were on the way, they were allowed to have like a drink. They had to stop for one last drink in a pub,
That was nice.
and that they were told then to get back on the wagon because they weren't going to drink again, and they were heading off to be executed. But apparently that's not the actual history of the term. Originally, the water wagon, during Prohibition in the States, whatever year that was, 1901, around that sort of era.
Okay.
There was, because there was no no pavements or anything, all the roads were all full of dust, and whenever it get too dry, it would get too dusty to do stuff. So this water wagon, why am I having so much trouble with that
You
word?
seem to be putting a H in there.
Would drive
Water
through
wagon.
water wagon.
Cool Whip.
Would drive through town to spray water all over the paths to
Yeah.
stop the dust rising.
Yes.
And-
Come on, you're losing us here.
I know, yeah, it's too long.
I'm yawning.
And a suggestion then that the person who would be on the wagon would prefer to drink the water from this cart, which was basically undrinkable water, as opposed to drinking again, so that they were on the wagon. So that's the origin of it, apparently.
That is interesting.
The